Have you ever wondered why some people are able to catch and keep so many lobster despite the limit being 6 per person per day in Florida? I'm Dylan from Carnage Outdoors, and today I'll be showing you the world of commercial lobstering and how we're able to catch and keep so many lobster despite the limit being 6 per person per day. In this video, I'll be taking you guys to the world underwater and showing you the life of a commercial lobster diver. But real quick, before we go underwater, if you guys are interested in catching lobster just like me, then this right here is the product for you. These lobster snares are longer and more durable than any other ever made and are perfect for you whether you're a beginner or experienced lobster diver. If you guys are interested in purchasing one, send a direct message to my Instagram at carnage.outdoors or send an email to me at dylan.carnageoutdoors@gmail.com to place your order now. So let's get back into the video and I will see you guys underwater.
So welcome offshore, everybody. Here's us jumping in the water, going diving, and getting ready for a great day of commercial lobstering. Right now we're going to look for the ledge that we're going to dive. Should be a little bit offshore from us, and that's me swimming out to it right now. Let's see if we can find some lobster. So after we found the ledge, we looked for our first lobster, and right here was our first one of the day. So we used the Carnage snare, put it behind him, caught him up quickly. Let's see if he's going to be legal. So we're using this measuring device to make sure that his head is bigger than 3 inches, which it is, so I add him to the bag. So now I want to explain to you some of the strict rules and regulations that we have to follow as commercial divers to ensure a healthy population of lobsters for the future. So number 1 is you must have a commercial dive or CD number issued by the state, and it must be visible from the air and from other vessels. So it must have a horizontal and a vertical visibility so they can see it while they're flying or if a FWC agent comes up to you while you're on the water. Number 2, all commercial lobstering permits were issued between July 1st, 2000 and June 30th, 2003. These permits must be renewed annually by September 30th or else they will be forfeited to the FWC. But if you weren't around in that time frame to get a lobster permit, then you're in luck, because that brings me to point number 3. Commercial lobster diving permits may be transferred from one fisherman to another, and these can be found on places like Facebook Marketplace. Number 4. The permit holder does not need to be on the vessel while harvesting, but must be the one to sell the lobsters. For example, since I personally don't have my CD license, I can go lobster diving on somebody else's boat that is licensed, but I cannot sell the lobsters. The person who owns the permit has to be the one to sell the lobsters, but I can go diving on their vessel and harvest lobsters. Number 5. It is illegal to possess more than 250 lobsters, any egg-bearing females, or any undersized lobsters. Doing any of these can get you in a lot of trouble. It is illegal to commercially harvest lobsters at night in the state of Florida. It is illegal to use any device that could puncture or crush a lobster's shell, like a hook or a spear. And it is illegal to catch lobsters in any artificial habitat like reefs or wrecks that are made by man. You also must possess a carapace measuring device in the water at all times. For us, we attach it to our bags, so we measure them before we put them in the bag, but you must possess it at all times. And the last regulation, honestly, I don't even understand it and why somebody would want to do this, but you cannot harvest lobster using bleach or chemical solutions and an injecting device. Why somebody would want to do that, I have no idea. But those are all the regulations. As you guys can see, we are heavily regulated to ensure a very healthy population of lobsters that's sustainable for the future. Now let's get back underwater. See you guys down below. So welcome back underwater. This here was the first nice batch of lobster that we found this day, and I want you guys to pay attention to how efficiently we catch these lobster. There's like 6 lobster in this little hole here, and we're using the Carnage snare right here, and I want you to see how fast we catch these. So I caught that first one, my dive body just caught that other one. Measure him, he's too short, so I let him go. I'm going after the next one. Catch him up really quick. And now we're going to measure him, see if he's legal. And if these guys are legal, the back of the measuring device will not go over the back of their carapace like that one there. So he goes in the bag. He catches another one right there. Now I'm going to go after that last one, and actually there's 2 more lobster in there, and you'll see them in just a second. So I catch that one, and I'm going to measure him and make sure he's legal, which he is not. He's very close, but just not legal. I have second thoughts about it, but he's too small. And he's looking in there, and there's actually 2 more lobster, and I'll show you guys right here. There is 2 little baby lobster in this hole here. You see them there on the left side. And right now I'm going to reach my hand in there and try to grab one out to show you guys, but I can't really grab them. They're kind of, when they get that small, it's really hard to get a grip on them when they go back into a hole. So wasn't able to do that, but let's move on to the next group of lobsters. This was a nice one, just kind of sitting out there in the open. Look how thick his legs are. No need to measure him. He's easily legal, so he goes in the bag. And here's another nice little single hanging out under this little ledge here. We catch him really quick. Another one, no need to measure him. He's well over legal. Give me a little trouble going in the bag, but some more lobster over here under this rock. See him right there. There's 2 lobster. We're going to go after and see if we can catch them. So look how quick that is. Super easy with the carnage snare. So if you guys are interested in getting one, just like I said before, send a DM to my Instagram account at carnage.outdoors or send an email to dylan.carnageoutdoors@gmail.com. This one I want to remeasure because he was as close as it gets. And on the second measure, glad I was safe, because better be safe than sorry, because he was just a little bit short. This here, we have a really nice hogfish, and unfortunately they are out of season right now, so we had to let them swim away. These are some of the most delicious fish in the ocean. So this right here is something that I have never seen before. It's going to start out as a normal clip, catch that nice lobster. I'm going to measure him and make sure he's legal, but in just a second you'll see what I'm talking about. So this one, I'm going to measure him, and he's legal, so he goes in the bag, and there's actually another lobster in there. So we're going to go after him. And right now you can just start to see him. I'm going to work him out. But what you can't see right now is off on the left-hand side, there's a moray that I didn't even know was there. So catch this one. We're going to measure him and see if he's legal or not. Get the gauge out, put it on him, and he's short. So I let him go right here, and bang! I know it's really hard to see it right there, but a moray eel grabbed that lobster and ate him. And I've never seen a moray actually catch a lobster and eat it, so that was really, really cool to see. I wish the film would have came out a little better, but in real time it was pretty awesome to see. So now we're going to work on that last lobster there. My bag got stuck on the reef. We're going to see if we can catch him. Boom. Got him. Super efficient. See that cloud of dust from where the moray grabbed the lobster and ate him? This one we're going to measure him, and I'm not going to let him back into that same hole with the moray because I would rather let the lobsters live when we let them go. So here's a pretty cool catch, and you'll see why in just a second. So I looped the lobster, he slips out, and bang, I grabbed him. Slipped right into my hands. But we're going to measure this one and see if he's legal. And unfortunately he's not, so I let him go. But there's still a lobster in this hole, and that lobster tried to get back in the same one. I like to keep them a little separate, but I want to keep things real with you guys about today. Today just seemed like it was going to be one of those days that everything goes wrong. Like this morning, I accidentally kicked the camera when I was in the boat, turned it on, and got like 20 minutes of film of the floor of the boat. Drained some of my battery, and then during one of the dives I couldn't click the button to turn the camera on, and the first dive we were slow. We caught maybe like 10 lobster in the first dive, but things turned around really quickly. We caught 170 lobster, which is awesome. So despite the slow start to the day, we still had an awesome day of commercial lobster diving. Not every day is like this. Some days it starts slow like it did today, and you get a terrible day, you catch 50 lobster and you barely make any money, but today was not one of those days, and we had an awesome day of diving. A lot of times later in the season like this, which is filmed in February, things slow down, but this season has been really good and really efficient end of the season right now. Still a lot of lobsters out there to be caught, as you'll see today. This lobster, I'm trying to work him out with my hands. I'm reaching my hands into this hole, see if I can grab him. Right now I think I have him with my right hand and I'm trying to work him out, giving him a little wrestle, and I pull him out by the knuckle. Now I'm just going to measure him and make sure he's legal, which he is, so I add him to our bag. So for this clip right here, honestly, I have no idea what was going on here. What it looked like to me was a lobster eating a spider crab, which if that's what it is, that's pretty crazy. If you guys have any ideas, leave a comment down below on what you think that was, but to me, that's what it looked like. But you know, we're still gonna catch that lobster, so I'm working him out right here. Push him out of the rock and see if we can get the snare right behind him. Missed him on that first swing and he goes back into the hole, but you know we're gonna get him back out. Right now I'm just trying to figure out how to get him out, and I push him out the other side. You see him right there, so I'm gonna touch him and push him a little further, get him all the way out. And now we're working him, see if we can catch him, and catch him right there. Now it's time to measure him and make sure he's legal. Don't want to keep any that are too small because you can get in a lot of trouble for that. But he's a little too small, so we let him go. So here we found another nice rock with some lobster in it, and we're going to work him out and see if we can catch him. That first one, pushed him off to the side and looped him up. And again, we're going to measure him just to make sure. I could probably tell like 99% accuracy, the ones that are legal, just by holding him, but I always like to make sure. Now we're going to go after that next one in there, see if we can get him out. See him poking his antenna right there, and he's acting a little jumpy, so we're just going to pull him out of the rock like that. Another nice one, but still got to measure him just to make sure. And he's easily legal, so we throw him in the bag. So this right here is the biggest fire truck of a red grouper that I have ever seen. And it was such a shame to watch him swim away, but they are out of season right now, and hopefully I'll see him in May. This is another nice lobster in a sand hole. Tried to push him out, but he shoved himself way back in there, and when they do that, the only way to get him out is to reach your hand in and grab him, so that's what I'm doing right now. My arm's in that ledge, seeing if I can work him out, grabbing him by the knuckle. Whenever you do that, grab the lobster by the knuckle, not by the antennas, because the antennas will break off. Also, the legs will break off if you grab them by the legs, so the knuckles tend to not break off. Every once in a while you can break them, but it's really hard to. So right now I'm just tugging on his antenna, trying to work him out of there. And right now we get him out. See how this sandy turned up? But this is a really big one. No need to measure him. So I add him to the bag. And here we got another one off to the side here. This one's a little bit smaller and a lot more jumpy. This one I decided he was too small, so I didn't even catch him. Here we have another lobster in this rock here, and I push him out and I go to catch him right here, and he takes off across the reef. So now it's time to chase him down and find out where he goes. So I saw he went into this rock right here, and he pointed me out to all his friends under this rock. So I catch that first one out of there, and now I'm going to measure him and see if he's big enough to keep or not. And he's just a little bit short. So I let him go, but try to keep him out of the same rock that I caught him in and all of his friends are in. And now we're going to go after the next easiest one. Reaching the snare back in there, tickling him out. That one shoots off to the side a little bit, and he gets a little swing and a miss, but we track him down. As you can see, he's right there, and we catch him up. Now we need to measure him and make sure he's legal. Looking for my measurer. And on this measurer, there's two sides of it. The one side is for stone crabs, and the side that I'm using here is for lobster. And as you can see, he's just a little bit short, so he gets to live another day. Now I'm looking in to see if I can find where the bigger ones are. I see this one on this side, so I'm going to reach my hands in there and see if I can grab him out. Right now I'm working my hands on him. I have him by the tail with my left hand right there, as you can see. and it's just not enough space to get him out of there. I'm trying to work him out, but I know if I can just wiggle this rock a little bit, he'll be able to get out. You saw that other lobster shot out of the rock there. He was just a little small, so I didn't go chasing after him. And here we get that lobster out. Looks like a bigger one, but he's legal, so we add him to the bag. Now I'm going to look and see if there's any more legal lobster in this hole. I know there's still some lobster in there. I'm not sure if any of the ones left are big enough to keep. So I'm going to look back in and see if I can find any more. See that lobster in front there? He looks like he'll at least be close, so going after him should be easy to catch. And he was, so we're going to measure him. He is just a hair short. He's about as close as they come, but not big enough, so not worth the risk of taking him. And now I'm going back in to see if there's any more keepers in there. I tickled that one out, but I know he's small. And looking on this side to see if there's any more, which there isn't, so now we're moving on to the next rock. So here I found a nice lobster in this coral head here, and I'm going to work him out, and I'm going to grab him really quick. He was looking forward at my snare, not back towards my hand, so I got him quick. Now I'm going to measure him and make sure he's legal, which he should be, and he goes in the bag. So I have no idea what was going on with this conch here. If anyone knows, leave a comment down below because I'd love to know. So here I got outsmarted by a lobster. He swam right into my mask, knocked me silly, and I have no idea where he went after there. I'm looking around trying to find him, but I have no idea where he went, and he was gone forever. Never saw him again. If you guys can see him in the video, I rewatched it a bunch of times and never saw it, but if you guys see it, let me know down below. So here we have two nice lobster in the sand hole, and I'm going to work them out. Working on that first one, and I push him out the back end. Gives me a nice chance to catch him right here, and I scoop him up. This is one that I don't need to measure. He's easily big enough, so I throw him right in the bag. And there's one more in there. You can see his antennas poking out there. I'm going to do the same thing, push him out the back. Makes it easy for me. Make him walk right into the loop and catch him up. This one I probably also didn't need to measure, but I just wanted to measure him to be safe since he was a little smaller than the other one. And yep, he's easily legal, so he goes in the bag and we're moving on to the next lobster. So here I forgot to hit the record clip right at the beginning of this, but caught that first lobster out of this, and there's a whole bunch more in this rock here, so we're going to work them all out. Took a swing at that next one, but missed him, and we're going to get another shot right here, so we get him. My dive buddy's working the other ones out of there. I'm going to measure this one, see if he's legal, which he's not. Now we're going to go after the next one in there. There's a whole bunch still in here. Trying to work him off to the right side. I don't want him to go deeper in there, but he does. Now I'm going to try and figure out how to get him out, see if there's a back exit somewhere. I saw that fish shoot out of there, so I know that there's a way for them to get out. And now I'm going to put the looper in there and see if I can push him out the back. So I see him in there and I'm working him. I see the hole with the light coming through on the other side. And I'm pushing him, moving him around. See if I can get him to go out all the way. And you can see his antenna right there. I got him all the way out. And I'm going to try to get him before he goes back in. So I get it behind him. And I had him for a second, but he slipped out. And he goes in this other hole here. And here I know I can just reach my hand in there and grab him. And I don't need to work him out of there. I can just pull him out with my hand. And I'm wrestling with him right now. Trying to move him just enough to get him out. Have him by the knuckle. And right here we get him out. And now we're going to measure him. And see if he's good enough to keep. And doesn't go over the back, so we know he's legal, and I add him to the bag. This here is the same rock. There was still a lobster left in here, and I'm going to work him out right now. Right now I'm on the back end of it, trying to push them to the main entrance of the rock, the bigger entrance. And I know that there's one in there, so I'm gonna try to work him out. As you can see, he's way back in there, but I know there's a way to get him out. And I'm just gonna slowly work him forward, work him forward. You see he's walking out right there. I get him all the way out, so I get the loop right behind him and catch him up. I knew if I didn't get him there, he was gonna be really difficult to get out, but fortunately I got him there. This is one I probably don't need to measure, but I'm going to anyways, just to be safe. And here we got the bag filling up pretty full. So still a little bit of space in there. Maybe you could fit 1 or 2 more lobster, but it's getting pretty full right now. So here we're working out another lobster, and I'm trying to grab him with my hand right there, and he's not really giving me the right angle, so I'm gonna try to get the right angle right here. We get it, make my opportunity worth it, and I grab him. This is another really nice one, no need to measure him, so he goes in the bag. So here we have another nice red grouper. This one had something huge in his stomach. Not sure what it was, but it looked like it could be the shape of a turtle. Here I'm passing up the bag to get ready to get in the boat and call it a day. But thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys back on the surface. So if you guys made it to this part of the video, thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more content like this. If you noticed a better quality in the audio of this video, this right here is why. I got a brand new microphone, so I'm trying to make every video for you guys better than the last. So if you guys like this content, don't forget to subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.